Hi everyone. Today we're going to be doing a skills lesson about media in the Hunger Games. Thinking about media, we're especially going to be comparing and contrasting three different ways that you could view or listen to or read the Hunger Games. So through text, through audio, or if you watch the movie. You are going to be actually doing all three. So I won't go into too much of the definition, but I just want to remind you that it's important to note how different it is in each one of these mediums. I highly suggest you watch the video especially. For the model section, I'm not going to go over everything, but you are going to be comparing different media. And remember that when you're reading, you can annotate the text like we've been doing. But if you listen to it, you can highlight the text that the actor or narrator speaks. And when you're viewing the movie, you can jot down notes as you watch and listen to the clips. So your job today is going to first be listening to the excerpt of this section of the text. You're also going to view the clip of the movie that this goes along with. So you're going to be able to see all three mediums of this text, which is pretty awesome. Remember that The Hunger Games is a story about love, survival, and the triumph of the human spirit during times of oppression. Really, what's important to note about The Hunger Games is it's all about how the districts feel as if their capital, their government, is oppressing them. And the rules of their government are extremely hard on them. The fact that they have to put in two kids as tributes every year, who will most likely die during the Hunger Games, is a very extreme. And if you've seen the movies, I'm sure you kind of get an idea of how bad it is for them. It's important to note, though, that when you read the text, that's one thing. Sometimes it will tell you how characters sound or the action, depending on how much description they give you. But when you actually hear it, like you're going to be doing in a moment, you're going to hear that the voice actors will sometimes add some more to the tone of their voice with their inflections. Sometimes they will make themselves sound like they're asking questions or they're nervous. In this case, you're going to notice that the inflection sometimes will show that Katniss doesn't usually dress up or worry about looking beautiful, but on a day like today during the reaping, she had to because there were camera crew everywhere. Then when you get to the film version, you really get to see so much more because of the actors, the moving images, the lighting, the sound, the camera angles, the focus, and so many other techniques of film. Even the way that the actors are dressed, especially Effie Trinket, who is very eccentric and over the top because she comes from the capital. She's from the first district that is the most rich. So they actually show so much more to help you understand what's really happening during the reaping. For instance, when I see that she says ladies first and she crosses to a glass ball with the girls' names, well, you don't really know what that glass ball is until you really get to see the movie. Unless you have a very vivid imagination, hopefully the details can help you in the book. But obviously the movie does a really good job of that. So with the your turn questions, obviously, you want to make sure that you reread this section here. This is the big part of this first two chapters, where she sees that her little sister Prim, is chosen to be tribute for District 12, and she is so upset. And so instead of letting her go in, she volunteers for her instead, which is allowed by the districts and the capital. So which of the following details in The Hunger Games is presented differently in the film version than in the printed text? So you really want to pay attention to what is something that you really don't see as much in the film version, or that is presented differently than what is shown in the text. So is it Prim's untucked blouse, Prim's reaction to being chosen, Katniss's anguish, or who is chosen as tribute? And remember, anguish means real sadness, absolutely devastated. All right, part B. Which of the following best explains why the film version might have presented the detail in part A in a way that was different from the printed text? So whatever you pick up here, you need to then be able to identify down here. Viewers wouldn't realize that it is a detail that causes Katniss to react. B, calling out Prim's name would break up the flow of the scene in the film. Ignoring Katniss's anguish makes it easier to focus on Prim in the movie, or choosing Katniss as a tribute makes a more exciting